for the royals is one of the most rewarding ways that you can serve your kingdom. Hello, and welcome to the second installment of the EL-16's training system, So You'd Like to Be Entourage. Through this series, I will guide you step by step on what duties you need to be prepared to carry out as Entourage, as well as the rules and conventions of the job. The first step on your path to becoming Entourage is keeping an eye on your royal. As Entourage, it is your job to serve the needs of your royal. To be able to carry out that role, you need to be in constant watch of your royal, so you can step in when appropriate and be close enough to do so quickly. This is not always as easy as it may sound, and there are times when you cannot or should not be as near to your royal as normal. During these times, the term line of sight is used. So how do you figure out how close is close enough? When to give your royals distance? Or what constitutes line of sight? That question is relatively simple if you have a degree in theoretical physics and enjoy the Baron Toymaker's puzzles. For this episode, I will try my best to untangle that Gordian knot. Let's start off relatively easy with the primary position you'll be using during a shift as Entourage. Whether walking or simply standing, Entourage should stay back from their royals about 3 feet. And off to the side by about 2 feet. Sticks are not provided to Entourage and are, in fact, discouraged. By using the 2x3 guideline, you will find you are able to step in and aid your royal without being in the way. You will also be far enough out of the way that should your royal make a predictable and yet still somehow unexpected sudden about face, you will not be in their face. Now we will look at the first adjustment to the rule of distance. Should your royal indicate that they are entering into a private conversation, or it becomes obvious they are about to do so, as Entourage, you should place yourself at minimum 6 feet away. As Entourage, discretion is paramount to properly fulfilling your duty. This means if your royal is having a private conversation, not only should you stand far enough back that you cannot hear them, you should also look away from those having the conversation. This does, of course, make it hard to fulfill your duty of keeping constant watch to know if they need you. My recommendation for this particular paradox is to use only brief glances towards your royal to see if their conversation is still ongoing. This also allows you to make sure that your royal has not pulled a royal tradition and started walking as they talk, because they do, constantly. Often, I suspect, for the simple reason that they know I am looking away. The other common way in which the rule of distance can be changed is by invitation of your royal. Do not be surprised if your royal invites you to walk beside them. Royals often like to talk with their entourage, and it is quite difficult to carry on any kind of conversation if you must constantly talk over your shoulder. Plus, it is not the most dignified of postures for a royal. So yes, as entourage, you are allowed to walk level with your royal, but only once they ask you. Never make this presumption. No matter how often you may have worked for your royal, no matter how often in the past they have asked you to walk beside them, no matter how good a friend you may consider them to be, as entourage, you must always wait to be invited. Decorum and proper service are your royal's rightful due, and it is your responsibility to give it back to them. Should you be invited to walk and talk with your royal, never forget that you are still doing a job for the crown. Even during this special honor, you need to continue to do all of the things that we will teach you through this series. For even while acting as their companion, above all, you remain their entourage. Now let us look at the term line of sight. There are times when it is more appropriate for you to be well distanced, or when there is simply no room for you to remain close to your royal. For example, a small room set aside for a vigil. It will be packed with people, all there to celebrate, wait for their chance to speak in private, and enjoy the bounty. In a setting like this, staying the usual distance from your royal is not only problematic, it can place you in an awkward position. You will be getting in the way of others and crowding an already crowded room. And so, line of sight is used. You can position yourself at a back corner of the room, out of the way, or just inside and to the side of a door, or even in the hall just outside the door, if there is only one exit. If there are two exits, you can be certain that your royal will wander out the other door, leaving you scrambling. The crowd, the traffic, and the size of the room can all be factored in when deciding where to be as entourage. Use your best judgment to place yourself in a way that allows you to be able to keep sight of your royals, and should they need you, get to them, while remaining out of the way of everyone else. It is always polite and appropriate to try and inform your royal as to where you will be waiting for them. Of course, there is another method for being able to spot your royal wherever they may go, as I shall demonstrate now. Excuse me, Your Majesty. Your collar is down at the back. Allow me to take care of that for you. It does take practice and training to be able to constantly be aware of your royal and their needs. When you are new to the job, it requires a constant level of concentration that over time becomes almost instinctual, allowing you to be able to look around at the event more and not having to keep an eye on your royal. Before long, you will develop the hang of it, and you will even be able to be at the other side of a small, crowded vigil room enjoying snacks while your royal mingles. Well, that's it for today's lesson. So until next time, stay healthy, and remember, just because there is a union doesn't mean there isn't a dungeon.